All right, real quick, I just wanted to follow up with a part two to the installation of this new radio housing for the Jeep Grand Cherokee. As you know, I had some issues as far as getting the factory climate control to work in the new aftermarket bezel. And communication has been actually very responsive with the seller on eBay. She has stated that she talked to the technicians that designed this product, and they have determined that the climate control can vary throughout some of these models on the Jeep Grand Cherokee. And so now I've gone onto eBay and bought a new climate control and bezel. And really the difference between them, if you look very closely with these three knobs, the gap between this middle knob and these upper buttons and lower buttons on this one are far more compact. Maybe because this screen was larger that they kind of condense everything more compact. Where this Jeep, you know, it came with the old crappy radio and the screen was very small, and it looked like the control buttons were spread out more vertically. Like there was easily a big enough gap between this middle button and this middle knob and these top and bottom buttons to fit your entire finger between them. And so ultimately, that circuit board is much larger. Taking those buttons out and putting it into new aftermarket bezel, yeah, it compacts it down as far as the buttons, but the circuit board doesn't align with the buttons anymore, and that caused this entire row of bottom buttons to not align and not function at all. And I had stated, well, it's my wife's vehicle, she's probably never going to use any of those buttons. But I hooked up the trailer to the Jeep and I was trying to put it in reverse, and it made this awful noise. And that has to do with the park assist. When it detects something behind the rear bumper sensors, it automatically activates the brakes. And so it was detecting the trailer behind the Jeep and activating the brakes. So I'm like, oh wow, what do I do? And I'm trying to press this button to turn off the park assist so I can actually go in reverse, and I was not able to do that. So luckily I acted pretty quickly and went into the LCD screen settings for the climate control, and I was able to deactivate the park assist that way. Another issue she had, her rear defrost, when we pressed that button, it would stick in and couldn't come out. And it was causing other problems where then the air conditioning light would turn on, and you know, it's freezing outside, we're trying to run the heater and the air conditioning's on. Because I believe that rear defrost button being stuck in somehow freaked out the whole control module. So, you know, after turning the vehicle off and back on, it stopped doing that. But we have since learned, hey, don't use the rear defrost or we're going to have this issue. So it's all pain in the ass. Got a new climate control. First step is to remove these knobs. We're going to pull them out, unscrew it. And my only concern is, does this wiring harness on the new climate control, is that going to plug in to the harness of this Jeep? According to eBay, it does fit this model, and I believe it will. So that's plan of action right now. I can already tell this circuit board is more compact than the one that's in my vehicle. Where the two ribbons are, in mine, there was a large gap between them, and I had to condense it in closer. Yeah, you can definitely see this is a much larger board than this. And flipping it over, look at all these LED lights on the circuit board. overhanging this housing. These LEDs are supposed to be in these buttons, lighting them up. And when you push these buttons, they're supposed to be striking these little connectors on the circuit board. Okay, moment of truth. It snapped in there just perfectly. It's going very well. I'm going to put the back cover on that I had to cut to modify this circuit board to fit on it. So it's all screwed up, but it should just fit back in there like it did. And I don't think that's a major issue. I did ask the seller for a replacement piece, and they declined to send me a new one, but I don't know if they fully understood. I do think there's a communication barrier. Maybe they're doing some kind of translating to English. But they did offer me $40 back as they realize that the description wasn't as accurate as it could be. So moving forward. Looking good. I don't know if you remember earlier, that circuit board was hanging down here and the LEDs were sticking out, not aligning with the buttons. Now everything feels nice and smooth. Plug her back in. I think we're back in business. All right, that went a lot smoother than I anticipated. And the new circuit board fit in the climate control housing provided with this product just fine. And all the lights are now lighting up. This park assist, you can see it lights up, and on the display it functions. And that was very important. Because when I mentioned when I put it in reverse with the trailer was an issue, but also if it's all the sensors are covered in snow, then it thinks something's behind you and you can't reverse because it automatically activates the brake. So very nice that I can use this button again. So that's pretty cool. Everything's working great. So that seems to be the fix. I contacted the seller, let them know. They were excited to hear that there is a solution and apologize for the inconvenience. And so now I would recommend buying this product. It is really an upgrade to this vehicle. So I hope this helps somebody out there. Thanks for watching. This is Wise Guy. Have a good one.